and welcome to the Smash News Network, the least busted name in news. I'm your host, Dan, aka Smash-O-Mash, and we're coming at you with some updates on the nor'easter that's been striking the nor'east. There's a low setting up. It's looking pretty strong here off the coast of North Carolina, but it's not going to have a lot of fuel to get all that strong. Also, it's going to loiter off the coast of New Jersey and not really go inland at all. You can see it forming here on the NASA Goes West. This is the visible satellite here. Check out the clear skies over Louisiana and Alabama and Mississippi. But right here where my pointer is, there is a strong low forming. You can see it looks almost like a vortex. And what's nice about this is that you're seeing, because it is a vortex, and you're seeing it start to form here. It's basically a divot in the atmosphere. All roads leading to that point. So some great visual imagery of that there. Now let's move on here and look at windy.com. It shows pressure isolines. So the location of this low is going to determine how high the snow gets. And so we've got two different forecasts here, and they both amount to the same thing. It's the low staying off the coast of New Jersey and not really moving inland. And also, there's some other information here you may be interested in. It's not going to intensify even if it does move inland, and here's why. So we're going to advance this. This is the European model forecast here for the low, and you can see it's going to intensify, but largely stay off the coast. And if we bring it to the point where it's off the Jersey coast, that might be its most intense gradient there. You can see that there is quite a large pressure gradient. But especially to the west of the storm. And here's some important information right after I show you the GFS. So here's the GFS model for this same point in time. This is 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So it is going to bring continued precipitation, just not super heavy. You can see how the GFS forecast is practically identical there to the European model. Now, if it does happen to move inland, and again, we're not expecting it to, but if it does, the likelihood it will intensify is indeed quite low, because you can see we've got anomalously cold water here all along the coast. So the same way that a hurricane gets de-intensified by that sort of a thing, we see de-intensification of this sort of a storm as well. So it really all relies on where the low will be located, folks. But there's some additional insight there. So storms will tend to track toward anomalously warmer water, and you can see there is a bit of a mixture here. It may pull a little bit toward southern New Jersey there, but along the way, there's a lot of cold water there along the coast. So that's not going to help things as far as it moving due north. If it does move due north, it'll actually lose some power there. Here's the current radar environment. We are getting sort of just a moderate snow here in eastern Pennsylvania at the moment. It was about 30 degrees last time I checked outside. And here's the local satellite view. We'll zoom out a couple steps here. That's good enough for the moment. Let's take a look at the water vapor also. So no huge pressure gradients there. You can see the atmosphere pretty homogeneous. This thing is going to be fairly predictable. There are two systems here. You can see this is an upper level series of clouds, and there's a bunch of low clouds up here. You can see those are two separate systems there. Slightly different pressure hierarchies in those areas. Again, there's the European and GFS forecast for the location of the low. So it doesn't look like this forecast is going to be a lot different than what we showed earlier this morning. And here's probably the best view of it. We'll zoom way in on that. And because this satellite is at such a acute angle, you get a lot of great great gradient there on that low pressure there forming and intensifying. So that should continue to produce some eye candy. I just wanted to do some further analysis into that there because of this morning's meteorology segment. It looks like the forecasts are going to hold up to be pretty accurate here. So watch our earlier video about that if you haven't seen it yet. You can find it at the YouTube channel, youtube.com/smashomash. And we also did stream it live. So anyway, I'm out. We'll go back to streaming the sun here momentarily. And I've been your host, Dan, a.k.a. Smashomash, signing off from the Smash News Network, least busted Raymond News.